Hello everyone. Welcome back to Super English Talks. My name is Sarah, and I am so happy to see you here today. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today is going to be a very special day because we are going to spend time together learning English in a natural and easy way. I want you to feel comfortable and relaxed. There is no pressure here. This is a safe space for learning. Whether you are sitting at home, lying in bed, or maybe taking a walk, I am here with you. We are going to talk about English listening practice, and I am going to give you a complete guideline on how to learn English effectively. So please, get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let us begin this journey together. Before we start, I want to tell you something very important. Learning English is not a race. It is not about being perfect. It is about progress. Every single day that you practice, even for just 5 minutes, you are getting better. You are improving. And I am so proud of you for being here today. Many people want to learn English, but they never start. You are different. You are here. You are taking action. That is amazing. So give yourself a little credit. You deserve it. Now, let me ask you a question. Why do you want to learn English? Maybe you want to travel to different countries and talk to people from all over the world. Maybe you need English for your job or your studies. Maybe you just love learning new things. Whatever your reason is, it is a good reason. Your reason is important. And I want you to remember your reason, especially on difficult days when you feel tired or frustrated. Your reason will keep you going. It will give you motivation. Today we are going to talk about listening practice. Listening is one of the most important skills in English. Actually, let me tell you something interesting. When you were a baby, before you could speak your native language, what did you do? You listened. You listened to your parents, your family, everyone around you. You listened for months and months before you said your first word. That is how language learning works naturally. We need to listen a lot before we can speak well. So if you feel frustrated because you cannot speak English perfectly yet, that is okay. That is completely normal. You need to listen more first. Your brain needs time to process the language, to understand the patterns, to recognize the sounds. Many English learners make a big mistake. They try to speak immediately without listening enough. It is like trying to run before you can walk. You need to build a strong foundation first. And that foundation is listening. When you listen to English regularly, something magical happens in your brain. Your brain starts to recognize words automatically. You start to understand the rhythm of English. You begin to hear where one word ends and another word begins. This is so important because in natural English, we do not speak like robots. We connect words together. We use contractions. We have intonation. And you can only learn these things through listening. Let me share a story with you. I have a friend named Maria. Maria is from Brazil. When she first started learning English, she studied grammar books for 2 years. She knew all the grammar rules. She could write perfectly. But when she tried to talk to native English speakers, she could not understand them. She felt so disappointed. She thought, why can I not understand? I know all the rules. The problem was that Maria had not practiced listening enough. She had focused only on reading and grammar. So what did she do? She changed her approach completely. She started watching English TV shows every day. She listened to English podcasts while cooking dinner. She watched English YouTube videos like this one. And guess what happened? After 6 months of consistent listening practice, Maria could understand English conversations easily. Her speaking improved too, even though she was not specifically practicing speaking. How is that possible? Because when you listen a lot, you learn natural phrases, you learn correct pronunciation, and you build confidence. So now, let me give you the complete guideline for learning English through listening. I am going to share everything I know. These are techniques that work. These are methods that successful English learners use. And I promise you, if you follow these guidelines, you will see improvement. You will notice progress. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen. First, let us talk about choosing the right listening materials. This is so important. Many learners choose materials that are too difficult for them. They try to watch complicated movies or listen to fast news programs. And then they feel frustrated because they cannot understand anything. Listen carefully. You need to choose materials that match your level. If you understand about 70 to 80% of what you hear, that is perfect. That is your level. If you understand less than 50%, the material is too difficult. You will feel stressed and you will not enjoy learning. If you understand 100%, the material is too easy. You will not learn anything new. So find that sweet spot. Find materials where you understand most of it, but there are still some new words and phrases to learn. What kind of materials should you use? Well, there are so many options today. We are lucky because the internet gives us endless resources. You can watch YouTube videos. There are thousands of channels for English learners. You can watch channels like mine, Super English Talks, where we speak slowly and clearly. You can also watch videos about topics you love. Do you like cooking? Watch cooking videos in English. Do you like sports? Watch sports commentary in English. When you watch videos about topics you enjoy, learning becomes fun. It does not feel like work. It feels like entertainment. And when you are having fun, your brain learns better. This is a scientific fact. Your brain is more receptive when you are relaxed and enjoying yourself. Podcasts are another excellent option for listening practice. There are podcasts about every topic you can imagine. History, science, stories, interviews, comedy, everything. Many podcasts for English learners speak at a slower speed and use simpler vocabulary. You can listen to podcasts while doing other things. You can listen while exercising, while commuting to work, while cleaning your house, while cooking. This is called multitasking, and it is a great way to add more English listening into your daily life. Some people say, "But Sarah, if I am doing other things, I am not paying full attention to the English." That is okay. You do not always need to pay 100% attention. Sometimes, just having English playing in the background helps your brain get used to the sounds and rhythms of the language. Of course, you should also have focused listening sessions where you pay complete attention. But background listening is helpful too. Another great resource is audiobooks. If you love stories and books, audiobooks are perfect for you. You can find audiobooks at different levels. There are graded readers, which are books specially written for English learners. These books use simpler grammar and vocabulary. You can start with easy books and gradually move to more difficult ones. When you listen to audiobooks, you can follow along with the text. This means you read the words while listening. This technique is incredibly powerful because you are connecting the written word with the spoken sound. Your brain makes strong connections. You learn how words are pronounced. You learn about sentence structure. You improve both your listening and your reading at the same time. Television shows and movies are also wonderful for listening practice. Many learners love this method because it is entertaining. You get to enjoy a story while learning English. My recommendation is to start with TV shows rather than movies. Why? Because TV shows have episodes that are usually 20 to 40 minutes long. This is more manageable than a 2-hour movie. Also, TV shows have the same characters and similar situations in each episode, so you get used to their voices and speaking styles. Sitcoms are great because they use everyday conversational English. Shows about families, friends, and daily life teach you practical English that you can actually use. Now, here is a very important question. Should you use subtitles? This is a question I get asked all the time. The answer is, it depends on your level and your learning stage. Let me explain the best approach. When you first watch something, if it is difficult, you can use subtitles in your native language. This helps you understand the story and enjoy the content. But do not stop there. Watch the same video or episode again, this time with English subtitles. This is when real learning happens. You see the English words while hearing them. You make connections. Then, if you want to challenge yourself more, watch it a third time with no subtitles at all. This might sound like a lot of work, but remember, you are not watching different things 3 times. You are watching the same thing 3 times. And each time you will understand more. Each time, you will catch words and phrases you missed before. Repetition is the key to language learning. Your brain needs to hear things multiple times before they stick in your memory. Let me tell you about another powerful technique called shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to English and try to repeat it at the same time, like an echo. You copy the speaker's pronunciation, their intonation, their rhythm, everything. This technique is used by professional interpreters and polyglots, people who speak many languages. Why is shadowing so effective? Because it trains your mouth muscles to make English sounds. It improves your pronunciation. It helps you think in English. And it builds your confidence in speaking. When you first try shadowing, it will feel difficult and strange. That is normal. Start with slow, clear audio. Listen to a sentence, pause, and repeat it several times until you can say it smoothly. Then try to say it at the same time as the speaker. Do not worry if you make mistakes. The point is to practice. Even 5 minutes of shadowing every day will make a big difference in your speaking ability. Another technique I love is called active listening. What is the difference between active listening and passive listening? Passive listening is when English is just playing in the background and you are not really focused on it. Active listening is when you pay complete attention. You focus on understanding every word. You take notes. You replay parts you did not understand. You look up new words. Both types of listening are useful, but active listening is where deep learning happens. Here is how to do active listening practice effectively. Choose a short audio or video, maybe 3 to 5 minutes long. Listen to it once without stopping. Try to understand the main idea. Do not worry about every single word. Just get the general meaning. Then listen again. This time pause when you hear a word or phrase you do not know. Write it down. Try to guess the meaning from context. After you finish, look up the words you did not know. Write down their meanings. Then listen to the audio one more time. You will be surprised at how much more you understand. This process might take 30 minutes for just a 5-minute audio, but it is incredibly effective. This is quality practice. One session of active listening like this is worth more than hours of unfocused listening. Let me talk about pronunciation for a moment. Many learners worry so much about pronunciation. They want to sound like a native speaker. But here is the truth. You do not need to sound exactly like a native speaker. What is important is that people can understand you clearly. That is called intelligibility. There are millions of people around the world who speak English as a second language. They all have different accents. And that is beautiful. Your accent is part of your identity. However, you do want to make sure your pronunciation is clear enough that people understand you. Listening practice helps with this. When you listen to English regularly, you naturally start to imitate the sounds you hear. Your accent improves automatically. You learn the correct stress patterns. In English, stress is very important. The same word can have different meanings depending on which syllable you stress. For example, the word record can be a noun or a verb depending on the stress. When you listen carefully, you learn these patterns naturally. Now, let us talk about vocabulary. How do you learn new words through listening? First, understand that you do not need to know every single word. Native speakers do not even know every word in English. There are hundreds of thousands of words in the English language. What you need is a strong foundation of common words. The most common 2,000 words in English make up about 80% of everyday conversation. So focus on learning common, useful words first. When you are doing listening practice and you hear a new word, do not immediately stop and look it up. Try to understand the meaning from context first. The context means the other words around it, the situation, the topic. Often, you can guess what a word means from context. This is an important skill. After your listening session, then you can look up the words you noted down. Write them in a notebook with an example sentence. Review these words regularly. Repetition is how words move from your short-term memory to your long-term memory. I want to share another important tip with you. Create an English environment. What does this mean? It means you surround yourself with English as much as possible. Change your phone's language to English. Change your computer's language to English. Follow English speakers on social media. Listen to English music. Even if you do not understand all the lyrics, you are training your ear. Put little sticky notes around your house with English words. Label things. Your mirror, your refrigerator, your desk. Every time you see these words, you are reviewing them. Make English a part of your daily life. When English becomes normal and natural in your environment, your brain starts to think in English. This is the goal. You want to reach a point where you do not translate everything in your head. You understand English directly. Consistency is more important than intensity. What do I mean by this? It is better to practice English for 15 minutes every single day than to practice for 3 hours once a week. Why? Because language learning happens gradually. Your brain needs regular exposure. Think of it like exercising. If you want to build muscle, you need to exercise regularly. You cannot just exercise once a month for 10 hours and expect results. The same is true for language learning. Regular practice, even short sessions, is the key. I recommend creating a daily English routine. Maybe every morning while you drink your coffee, you watch a short English video. Maybe every evening before bed, you listen to an English podcast for 10 minutes. Find a time that works for you and make it a habit. After a few weeks, it will become automatic. You will not even think about it. It will just be part of your day. Let me address something important. You will have difficult days. There will be days when you feel like you are not improving. You will feel frustrated. You might think, I have been studying for months. Why am I not fluent yet? These feelings are completely normal. Every language learner experiences this. It is called a plateau. A plateau is when you feel stuck, like you are not making progress. But here is the truth. You are making progress. You just cannot see it yet. Language learning is not linear. It does not go up in a straight line. Sometimes you improve quickly, sometimes slowly. Sometimes you feel like you are going backwards, but you are not. Your brain is processing and consolidating information. During these difficult times, remember why you started. Look back at where you were a few months ago. I guarantee you have improved. Maybe you understand more than before. Maybe you can recognize more words. Maybe you feel more confident. Celebrate these small victories. Progress is progress, no matter how small. Another thing that helps during difficult times is finding a community. Learning English alone can be lonely. But you do not have to do it alone. There are millions of English learners all over the world. Connect with them. Join online forums. Join Facebook groups for English learners. Find a language exchange partner. A language exchange partner is someone who wants to learn your language while you want to learn theirs. You can help each other. You can practice together. Having someone to share your journey with makes learning more enjoyable. You can encourage each other. You can celebrate successes together. You can support each other through challenges. Let me talk about making mistakes. This is so important. Many learners are afraid to make mistakes. They stay silent because they do not want to say something wrong. But here is the truth. Mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your teacher. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn. When you make a mistake and someone corrects you, your brain remembers that correction. You learn from it. Native speakers make mistakes too. Everyone makes mistakes. It is part of being human. So please, do not let fear of mistakes stop you from practicing. When you are doing listening practice and you do not understand something, that is okay. When you try to shadow and you cannot pronounce a word correctly, that is okay. Keep trying. Keep practicing. Improvement comes from making mistakes and learning from them. I want to share with you some specific listening exercises you can do every day. These exercises are simple but very effective. Exercise number 1 is called Listen and Summarize. Choose a short video or audio, maybe 2 to 3 minutes long. Listen to it carefully. Then, try to summarize what you heard in your own words. You can write it down or say it out loud. This exercise trains your brain to extract the main ideas from what you hear. It improves your comprehension and your ability to express ideas. Exercise number 2 is dictation. Choose a short audio clip. Listen to a sentence and try to write down exactly what you hear. Replay it as many times as you need. This exercise is challenging but incredibly effective. It trains your ear to catch every word. It improves your spelling. It helps you understand connected speech. Exercise number 3 is question and answer. After listening to something, ask yourself questions about it. What was the main idea? Who were the people talking? What happened? Why did it happen? Answering these questions proves that you truly understood the content. Here is another exercise I love. It is called Listen and Predict. When you are watching a TV show or listening to a story, pause it in the middle. Try to predict what will happen next. What do you think the characters will say? What do you think will happen in the story? Then continue listening and see if you were right. I want to address a common frustration. Sometimes you understand English when you are listening to a lesson or a slow speaker, but you cannot understand native speakers in real life. Why is this? Real-life English is different from classroom English. In real conversations, people speak quickly. They use slang. They use idioms. They have accents. They mumble sometimes. They interrupt each other. They leave sentences unfinished. This is natural speech. To understand natural speech, you need to listen to natural content. This is why I recommend watching TV shows, movies, podcasts with native speakers talking naturally. At first, it will be difficult. You might only understand a little. But keep listening. Your brain will adjust. You will start to recognize patterns. You will get used to the speed and the rhythm. Over time, understanding natural speech becomes easier and easier. Let me give you a very practical 30-day listening challenge. This is something you can start today. For the next 30 days, commit to listening to English for at least 20 minutes every single day. It can be anything. YouTube videos, podcasts, audiobooks, TV shows, anything. But it must be every day for 30 days. No excuses. If you miss one day, start the 30 days over again. Keep a calendar and mark each day you complete your listening practice. At the end of 30 days, reflect on your progress. Test yourself by watching something you watched on day 1. I guarantee you will understand more. This challenge builds the habit of daily English practice. After 30 days, it will feel natural. It will be part of your routine. And you can continue for another 30 days. And another, and another. This is how you make long-term progress. Another useful technique is called intensive listening versus extensive listening. Intensive listening is when you listen to something short and analyze it deeply. You listen multiple times. You look up every word you do not know. You study the grammar. You practice shadowing. This type of listening is slow but very thorough. Extensive listening is when you listen to longer content for enjoyment and general understanding. You do not stop to look up words. You just listen and try to understand the main ideas. Both types are important. Use intensive listening for studying and deep learning. Use extensive listening for building fluency and enjoying the language. A good balance might be 15 minutes of intensive listening and 30 minutes of extensive listening each day. Let me tell you about the power of repetition. In language learning, repetition is everything. Your brain needs to hear something many times before it truly learns it. Do not think that listening to something once is enough. It is not. Listen to the same thing multiple times. Each time you listen, you will notice something new. You will catch words you missed. You will understand phrases better. You will appreciate nuances you did not hear before. Some language learners listen to the same podcast episode 10 times or more. Some watch the same TV show episode 5 times. This might sound boring, but it is incredibly effective. The content becomes deeply embedded in your memory. The phrases become automatic. This is how you build fluency. Do not always chase new content. Sometimes, repeat content you have already heard. Make it a part of your practice routine. I want to encourage you to be kind to yourself. Language learning is hard. It requires patience, effort, and time. There will be moments of frustration. There will be moments when you want to give up. But please do not. You are capable of learning English. Thousands of people who started exactly where you are now have become fluent English speakers. You can too. The difference between people who succeed and people who give up is simply that successful people kept going. They practiced even when they did not feel like it. They continued even when progress seemed slow. You have that same strength inside you. Believe in yourself. Trust the process. Keep listening. Keep practicing. Keep learning. Now, let me give you some specific resources to start with. On YouTube, look for channels that focus on English listening practice. Channels like mine, Super English Talks, are designed specifically for learners. Look for channels that speak clearly and slowly. Some other good channels are Easy English, Learn English with TV series, English with Lucy, and many others. For podcasts, try 6-Minute English by BBC Learning English. It is short and perfect for learners. Try All Ears English, which focuses on American English and natural conversation. Try The English We Speak, which teaches idioms and expressions. For audiobooks, try the Graded Readers series from Oxford Bookworms or Cambridge English Readers. These books are written specifically for learners at different levels. Start with level 1 or 2 and gradually move up. For TV shows, I recommend starting with shows like Friends or How I Met Your Mother, because they have clear speech and everyday situations. Animated movies are also great because the speech is usually very clear. Let me share one more powerful technique with you. It is called visualization. When you are listening to English, try to visualize what you are hearing. Create images in your mind. If someone is describing a place, try to see that place in your imagination. If someone is telling a story, imagine the story like a movie in your head. This technique does two things. First, it keeps you engaged and focused. Second, it helps your brain create strong memory connections. When you visualize something, you remember it better. This technique works especially well with stories and narratives. As you listen, build the world in your imagination. This makes listening active rather than passive. It makes it fun and creative. I also want to mention the importance of rest. Yes, rest is important in language learning. Your brain needs time to process and consolidate what you have learned. If you study for hours and hours without breaks, you will feel exhausted and you will not retain information well. Study smart, not just hard. Take breaks. Get enough sleep. Sleep is when your brain organizes memories and strengthens learning. Have you ever noticed that sometimes after a good night's sleep, something that was difficult the day before suddenly seems easier? That is your brain working during sleep. So take care of yourself. Balance your study time with rest time.